Hello, so we have made it to week 3 and we are just plugging right along. We finished our first project, Soundtrack of My Life, a fun little introduction and lets me get to know you a little bit better. And now we are moving on and we are going to dive into some vocab this week. We're going to start the first novel that we're reading for this class, and we're really going to kind of start moving along. So again, at the beginning of the week, the 14th, I'd like you to fill out this form, giving you the learning objectives. As always, there's a link to the plans, a picture of the plans so you can at a glance look, and then what we'll be doing this week. So I'm going to walk you through each of these expectations, objectives, activities for a little bit more information. So the first thing you'll be doing is getting introduced to our vocabulary series, Vocabulate. So there is a section for that on Google Classroom. You'll see there's a place with the first list. And then you will also see there is the homework attached. And you'll actually need both because, as you know with Vocabulate, you need to read the passage. And we're trying to figure out the definition of the bold typed words based on how they are used in context of this passage. So as you read through this and get an idea of what the words mean, you will fill them in on the slides. You'll give me the definition and then at least 2 synonyms. Now on Tuesday, I will go over in class and then post the correct definitions and some synonyms just to make sure that everyone's on the same page, that everyone does have the right working definition so that you're not going through the homework with the wrong definitions. But on first read, you will again read the passage and then put what you believe the definitions are and the synonyms. By Friday, I will ask you to work through the homework then. Once you have the correct definitions, there's synonyms and antonyms, there's sentence completion, shades of meaning, and analogies. You will have to do this by clicking open with Kami or Kami, and then using some text boxes, you'll be able to just type your answer right on each line and then save that for me. So that will be due on Friday once we have gone over the correct definitions. So pretty self-explanatory, especially since it's a carry-on from last year. So there is completing list 1 and homework. The next thing we'll do is we'll take a little section of notes on the author of The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien, and just the background of the novel since it is a different type of novel. So that'll be down here in this week of work on Google Classroom under the Hobbit introduction. I made a little video here going over the introduction, and then you will just fill in these notes. This is an anticipatory guide, so you'll just kind of give your feelings on these things that kind of agree or disagree with things that'll go on in the novel. And then as you go through the slides that I explain, you'll fill in the notes about the background, the genre, the setting, and you'll also open that with Kami to do that. So that will just be you, again, watching my video, filling in the notes. We will also be defining some literary terms that really can apply to almost any novel, but we'll be kind of applying them to The Hobbit. So you will be using your little glossary here, and you will go through the slides again, and as you see the terms, then you will type them in here, and then I ask for some of them that you paste your own picture in a certain spot. So as you go through the terms in these slides, you'll be able to fill them in your glossary, and then it'll ask you for pictures, and you'll find a picture in here. So that's just kind of on your own, filling in notes, going through that. Then we're going to get a character type, a character archetype, and create an archetype poster. So that is this character archetype research. These are the different types of characters that we see displayed in literature. It's an archetype because you can see it. They have the same characteristics in all different types of literature. for years and years and years. And so once I assign you that, you'll have some examples here to look at, but then you will fill out this little slide where you give some characteristics of your archetype, a picture of a character, and then explain why you chose that character. So I will assign that to you a little later in the week once I see who gets what, and you'll do a little bit of research there. I have here reading chapters 1 through 6 of The Hobbit and completing novel response questions. I am not positive we will get through chapters 1 through 6. That's being a little bit optimistic, but I'd at least say 1 through 4, and we'll just kind of see how we go. But here is a document with the chapter response questions. Again, you'll have to open it in the Kami and type in. I would really only do one chapter at a time before we see how far we get. Since we will be going over these a lot of the times in class, once we've gone over them on that day and you've turned it in, I will then post either me going over it or just an answer key so that you can check, since you won't be in class to discuss it, that you have the correct answers. But again, I would just kind of work through this one chapter at a time. I will keep you updated how far we are getting in class so that you're not reading too terribly far ahead and giving yourself more work than what you have to. Closer to the end of the week, we'll read a legend about King Arthur and kind of compare that to our main character in The Hobbit and how he fits the characteristics of a knight. So there is just an article here that you'll click, open in Kami, and then answer some questions relating to that. Finally, by the end of the week, hopefully, we will examine the history of the ring, which you will see show up in the novel, and Gandalf's character with some Edpuzzle questions. So again, that is going to be a set of videos here that you will watch, and as you watch, you will just answer and submit some questions about the videos. There's 3 of them, but they're pretty short, and it tells you what's part 1, part 2, part 3. So that's this week. Again, I wouldn't get too stressed out about the chapters 1 through 6. I will keep you updated on how far we're getting in class, because when it comes to the reading, this is a loftier book, it's wordy, and we tend to get a little behind. So don't worry too much about that. I will also keep you up to date when we go over chapter responses. I will make sure to include that information for you so you have the correct information. And we might even be able to figure out a way that we can incorporate you live on some of those class discussions of the novel, because it's good sometimes to be a part of that. So those are kind of the goals for the week. Introduce vocabulary and complete your vocabulary homework by Friday. Start the novel of The Hobbit by introducing some terms, some background, do some reading and some answering questions. And again, we'll see just how far we can get with the reading. But if you kind of follow this plan up here, this is the tentative plan of how far we will get. I did forget to mention one thing that I just see while you are going over the literary terms and backgrounds here, down here with the Hobbit introduction. You're going to come to one of your terms that is, let's see, I'll just show you right here. One of your terms that archetypes, and then you're going to see here a slide that says hero archetype. When you get to this slide, you're going to come back here and watch this Edpuzzle video, What Makes a Hero. This link will lead you to the same video, but you actually need to click on it from here because this has the questions in it that I want you to answer. So when you get to this slide again, you're going to watch this little video about the hero archetype in here and then answer the questions. So I kind of forgot to include this. But yeah, that'll be the beginning of the week. Again, if you have questions, please reach out. Please don't hesitate to ask. I hope you enjoy this next week, and we'll talk to you soon.